Mr. Smith. I'm Tori with Respiratory, and I'm here today to show you how to change an oxygen cylinder. So I'm going to go ahead and wash my hands here and we'll get started, okay? Alrighty, Mr. Smith, so it sounds like your doctor's ordered 4 liters per minute of oxygen for you, and he's going to have you go ahead and use that via nasal cannula if that works for you, okay? If the nasal cannula doesn't work, we can certainly look at other oxygen delivery devices. So I'm going to show you how to use this cylinder. So this cylinder is placed in a secure cart. We always keep oxygen stored in an upright position and secured in a cart so that it doesn't fall over. We want to always be careful with these because they do have pressurized gas in them. Alright, so when you have the oxygen in your home, make sure that it's always stored securely. Make sure that it's in a cool area, away from the light, away from heat. Make sure that you have a no smoking sign posted in your home. Oxygen itself is not flammable, but it will greatly accelerate the rate of fire. So it's really important that we have those no smoking signs up anywhere that we're using oxygen. Alright, so here we have this oxygen cylinder. This is an E cylinder, and it holds 2200 psi, which is the standard measurement of pressure. This particular tank is green, and we know that it's oxygen because it's green. In the United States, green is the color that represents oxygen. So we know that when we have an oxygen tank, there will always be green when we're in the United States. We also know that this is oxygen because we have a label on the front right here, and it tells us that we have oxygen. Okay, so that's the 2 ways that we can tell what we have here. Excuse me. So we're going to go ahead and I'm going to talk you through the process of changing the tank. So if this was a new cylinder, you would have a plastic here. This plastic is just to protect the cylinder here. So we would go ahead and peel off the plastic piece, and that's just going to expose it so it would look just like this. And then we're going to do what we call crack the tank. Okay, to crack the tank, on this cylinder we use this little wrench. It fits nicely over the top here of the cylinder, and it's going to allow us to blow out any debris that may be in between the plastic and the cylinder. So we're going to go ahead and do that now. We're going to crack the tank. Just a quick open and close to blow that out, okay? Alright. So now that we've cracked the tank, we're going to go ahead and put on the flow meter with the regulator, okay? This is the type of flow meter and regulator that we're going to be using on this tank. This is part of the pin index standard safety system, and that is because it has 2 pins inside, right there, and it has this washer, and that's what's going to secure the regulator to the tank. So it's always important to make sure that the washer is in good working condition, it's not corroded, it's not damaged in any way, because that will lead to leaks, and we don't want any leaks. This right here is what we call the flow meter. This is what you're going to dial to get the liter flow. So for you, we're going to be using 4 liters per minute. Right there, 4 liters per minute. And this is what's going to read our pressure. So we're going to be looking at this. This is part of the regulator, and this is the flow meter. This is where you're going to connect your nasal cannula. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and dial us back down to 0. And we're going to go ahead and attach this to our cylinder. So this is part of the pin index standard safety system. Alright, so we're going to go ahead and get this attached to our cylinder and get going, okay? Alright. So to attach the regulator, we're going to go ahead and insert the pins into the cylinder, make sure that they're secure properly, and then we're going to tighten it. Alright, get it nice and secure there, right there in the hole how it's supposed to be, and then we'll get it secured. Okay, the next step is to make sure that we don't have any leaks. So to do that, we're going to just go ahead and open the cylinder and listen for any leaks. Okay, there is no leaks in our connection, so that's great. I'm going to go ahead and shut off the cylinder here. Now, it's also important for us to know how much time we have left on our cylinder before we need to change it. So you are set at 4 liters per minute, and right now our flow meter reads 1000 psi. So to find how much time we have left, we take 1000 times 0.28, which is the cylinder factor for an E cylinder, and we're going to divide that by 4 liters per minute, which will give us 70 minutes or 1 hour and 10 minutes. So that's how much time you have left on this tank. Now after you're done using the tank, it's important to bleed it out. And that's going to release any pressure that's between the cylinder and the flow meter and regulator. So to do that, we're going to dial up the flow meter. And we're going to go ahead and bleed that pressure out. And that's how we're going to change that tank. Do you have any questions for me today? Okay, thanks. Have a great day.